Hi guys, I apologize. I do not have my little microphone thingy. I lost it. I don't know what happened. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you are taking time to take care of yourself because you are the most important investment and you should definitely be safeguarding your time, your energy, your attention, your energy, everything. Safeguard that. I feel like there's a lot of people in the world that are opportunists and they're just I guess their purpose in life is to just be parasitic and just kind of like find hosts. Yeah, don't be a host, guys, especially to people who don't have your best interest in mind, if that even makes sense. As always, I am fidgeting. Today's video, I guess I was gonna touch on projections, and how do you know like what's yours and what's not yours. First of all, I think you have to create a firm foundation within yourself, so you know like who you are, what you like, what you don't like. I feel like, for me personally, I've done a lot of inner work, inner alchemy. I want to say I have also spent a lot of time just kind of like researching, knowing myself, pinpointing. There's so many things, honestly. There's so many things. That's why, like, if you read books, or like you can watch as much like videos and read as much books as you want, but honestly, it's all, I want to say, experiential. Like, until you get to a phase where you stop consulting outside of yourself, you're still kind of gonna be very influenced. Like, your choices will be very, like, your choices won't be yours, because you're looking at, you're asking other people, what should I do? You're looking at videos, you're watching books, you're reading books, you're watching media, you're following what everyone else is telling you. You're being influenced and advised by everything outside of you instead of yourself. I feel like you need to get to a point where you're very comfortable consulting yourself. You're very confident in knowing yourself. Once you get to that phase, yeah, you could definitely tell what's your projection and what's not your projection. Like, for me, I've gotten to a place where, for the most part, I'm pretty calm, I'm pretty peaceful. So if anything disrupts that calmness or peace, I know for sure that's not me. It's probably someone else's projection. And I'm not saying that's always the case. You should always, like, self-analyze whenever, your peace is disrupted. Because, I mean, sometimes it could be you. But if you've gotten to a point where you've unraveled a lot of, like, programs, habits, belief systems, mental constructs that are not yours, if you have gotten to a point where you've unraveled a lot of that, most of the time it's probably not you. Yeah, an easy way to like tell it's someone else's projections, and usually their projections have like a taste of like an unsavory taste. Other people's projections have an unsavory taste to them, an unsavory feeling. And normally it's going to be negatively charged. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody, for instance, if somebody is telling you that, oh, you think too much, you feel too much, that's their projection. They're trying to dictate your reality. They're trying to control how you live your life. And they're also trying to, I want to say, create a role that you should play in their life. But you see how like that doesn't work, especially if you're working towards sovereignty. Especially if you're working towards like commanding your own energetic sphere. Yeah, so like whenever somebody speaks to you like in a condescending way and it doesn't feel like it uplifts, that is a projection. And what do you do when you like recognize that it's a projection? For me, no reaction. No reaction. And sometimes, and that might be misinterpreted as passivity, but they're looking to harness your energy through your reaction, and if you don't give them a reaction, then they either will move it along, or they'll recognize that, oh, okay, I'm trying to get a reaction out of this person and it's not working, so they'll stop, or they'll try to like change their play. But dude, like if you're aware of all of this, like for me sometimes too, I'll like totally like deflect it. There's so many different ways to deal with this, honestly. There's different ways to deal with other people's projections, but the first and foremost thing that you need to remember is their projections is not your responsibility, and it's also like it's not, you're not, don't change them. That's their responsibility, you know. But for me, I either don't react or I will deflect by like mirroring them. Not even mirroring them, like say like somebody asked me, like for instance, like say like I didn't know something and I asked someone who I know knew how to do something. Does that make sense so far? And then they kind of like get snippy with me and go, oh, you don't know how to do that? What I mean by deflect is I would probably go, well, if I knew, I wouldn't have asked you, right? But that's the thing, you do it calmly. Like, because if, if you start getting like emotionally reactive, that gives them fuel. So you just be very calm, which is like this is like the hardest thing to do, because they've taught us to be the opposite of calm, right? Which is like constantly like immersed in activity. I constantly gotta be doing something. No, just be calm. Calm and detached, but very, very aware of what is happening inside of you, what is being projected from the other person, and I swear, like when you're in a state of calmness, like you can see things so clearly. If you feel comfortable, hold that person accountable, but for the most part, just like calm detachment, pretty much calm detachment, but hyper aware of what's like happening, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the best way to deal with that. Yeah, dude, if it's your projection, yeah, and it just depends. I feel like people who are empaths, people who are highly aware, who do, I want to say, they self-inquire often. They're always trying to understand things. If you're in that category, then yeah, a lot of times projections aren't even yours, man. Especially if you've been working on yourself, especially if you've been blaming yourself, especially if you've been keeping quiet to make people feel comfortable, especially if you've been self-sacrificial, especially if you've been overly generous and kind and you've given people more chances than they should have been given. Yeah, this applies to you, you know? What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, just non-reaction, man. Just non-reaction, period. Also, well, I'm trying to say, like, how do you know it's your projection? Oh, for us, I think, like, you can tell it's our projection when we are viewing life through the rose-colored lens, because I used to always look for the potential in people and believe words, believe words that weren't backed up with actions. I would not want to speak up because I was afraid of hurting someone else's feelings. I was also not even afraid. I didn't want to cause tension. I didn't want to cause discord, but I was sacrificing myself, and how is that even healthy? Yeah. Am I getting my point across? I have no idea. Also, I don't even know if the sound quality is okay. But yeah, if you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. I hope you're having a very blessed day. Take care of yourself. Amen.